Alright guys, I think this is video number 7, custom Humvee top. Did a long day today, about 13 hours. I'm going to give you a rundown of where I'm at. I have all the T-tops setting up here. I'm going to give you some advice on things that I wish I would have done a little bit different. So if you see, there's welds on here, but there's no welds on here. When I made these ones, I scored it from the top and bent it down and had to fill in the score mark. When I did these ones, I scored it from underneath, bent it, and filled in the score mark. So if you're gonna do that, that's a freebie pointer. Now these, I can fix it. I can sand this down and make it look like this. It's just gonna take more work. So let's see, today I got the custom made C-pillar mounted in there. If you watch the other videos, you'll see how I made that C-pillar and the type of aluminum that I used, and all that good stuff. It's just got a simple plate that I used. There's 3 large holes right here that have additional support underneath, and I'm using 2 of those holes to mount it down. I might do some additional amounts, I'm not sure, and I'm going to tell you in a minute why I don't think I really need any more mounts for this to secure it. I think it'll be fine the way it is. Alright, so let's see here. In other videos I showed you how I made the piece to fill the gap between the door and the top. This rides on the outside. It's got rivet nuts that secure it down so this can be removed. This is welded to here. This has rivet nuts, and I'm going to put another couple in here. And today I cut this one. Sorry for the lighting. I cut this one, and I got as far as making a template for this bottom piece. So I'm going to cut that template tomorrow and weld that template to here. This is off a little bit. I'm just going to grind that down, and it'll be a smooth transition. Now what I'm going to do for this, I do not want to weld this to here because I need to be able to remove this whole piece if I want. So what I'm going to do is on the back side of here, I'm just going to weld a 1/4 inch piece that's comes out about 1 inch, and that'll be welded to here, and that'll be essentially a backing plate for this, and then I'll have rivet nuts that go through the outside and screw into that plate that's mounted on here, and then that will connect this to the C-pillar, so that'll provide additional support for the C-pillar, so I won't have to worry about any rotational movement of the C-pillar. You see that turned out pretty good inside. Let me come around to show you the top. Once you see from the top, everything is nicely squared up. If you can see, it's squared up really good. And I took, not a lot of time, but I took some time to make sure that things were squared up in here, okay? Now, when everything was squared up, what I did is I secured these back two pieces with clamps, and then I drilled a hole, hole, I drilled another hole, and it goes through the top, through the C-pillar. Then what I did is I got some round aluminum stock 3/8, and I put that round stock through the hole, and then I welded it so it gives me a, you can see there's a drop down pin. So basically I know every time I put this T-top on, see the pin there? It's going to go through that hole and it'll be in the same position every time. So everything will line up exactly where I need it. And there's a pin here and a pin here, so once that pin's in, I can't have any rotation of the top to put anything out of sync of where it needs to be. Now I also need to go to the front, and I'm going to do a couple pins on the front T-tops as well. You can see this one I just tacked on there. It looks like shit. It's kind of a dirty tungsten. This one, I had some issues. It looks like, trying to get, I went up to 200 amps trying to get everything to melt and penetrate together. So I don't want that pin to pop back out. And there's a little bit of eye holes in there, and I'll probably actually end up trying to weld that again. I really want to get good penetration so that pin doesn't ever pop out. Same thing with this one. There's a little fish hole. You can really see a good one on the video. It's a little harder to see with the naked eye, and it looks like it needs to be sanded down a little bit more so it's flush. But these are some ideas. I'm just telling you how I'm doing it. So if you're going to plan your own top, there's some ideas of what you might want to do. Now, one of the other things I did is I did a 1/2 inch overhang on the back. And I did a 1/2 inch overhang because when I make my back wall, that'll be 1/4 inch. And if I put a little some type of a seal around here, and then the 1/4 inch plate, it's going to be just about flush with this, but there'll be a little bit of overlap to reduce any chances of water coming down and draining in, because it will be a little bit of an overlap. Let's see, what else do we have going on here? I gotta cut this one tomorrow. If you can see, this one's not cut. I gotta cut it and bend that one tomorrow. And then also tomorrow I'm gonna plan on trying to put some clamps on. Let me show you how I'm planning to do this. I thought I had a clamp somewhere. Bear with me here. And let me grab one of these clamps here. Definitely not a professional video maker. I really don't care. Everybody, they spend all this time with making these fancy videos, and it takes them 10 minutes before they get to the freaking point of the video what they're trying to show you. I don't need to do all that. I'm just gonna get right to the point. All right, here's a clamp. I got a clamp now. I got these clamps here. These clamps are a little smaller than what I really wanted. I think I'm gonna get something larger, but basically what I'm gonna do is I'll weld a 1/4 inch piece that comes down just a little bit and secure the clamp to that piece on the top. Then I'll secure this clamp to the pillar, and this will give me an adjustable tension. One of the important things that I wanted was I wanted a top where I can adjust the tension so that depending upon what ends up working well with seals, I can make it a little bit tighter or a little bit looser if I end up having a little bit of water leakage. So that's why I went that route instead of just bolting the top down. Now, yeah, it would work to bolt the top down, of course, as well, but I did not want to bolt it down from the top, from the outside, and I wanted something that was going to be a quick release. I definitely wanted a top. I wanted T-tops where I can remove them basically without having to have any tools. I didn't want to have any socket wrenches or anything like that to remove the T-tops. I just wanted something that was like a quick release system. And with having the pins in the top, they'll give some extra stability to reduce any chance of movement on bumps or anything like that. The final test will of course be putting it to use out on the road, seeing if it makes any noise or whatnot. That's where it's at. Now I'll be painting the whole inside and outside of it tan to match everything. All this is going to be painted tan. I'm going to paint the inside of this tan. This will be painted tan, so everything will match. The greens, I mean, the green's a good color, but I'm out in the desert in the heat and the sun. I like that desert tan. It's a good look. So that's what it looks like, again, with 4 separate T-tops on a Humvee. I think I'm the first one that's ever done that. Yep, I'm bragging a little bit, but hopefully I won't be the last. Hopefully I want this trend to catch on. I might manufacture them and sell them too. That's it. That wraps it up. If you have any questions, send me a message and I'll be sure to reply to you. Take care.